thus making them poor. I want to study and help shape the economic forces of our food system. I know that this will require a lot of me and the people in my life. I know it will require another graduate degree. It will require financial uncertainty. It will require living in another country so that I can learn more about these complex issues involving our food choices. I have worried about my partner, Tucker, my student debt, my future financial stability, my theoretical children, and my relationships. I have talked with my parents, and they have expressed their own worries. Or displeasures of living farther away from myself and Tucker. And though my parents raised me with the values of service and nurturing community, the idea of actually following my call for service of the wider community brings up practical concerns like, can you pay your bills? Will you have health care? Here's a pro tip. When you've experienced an awakening to a greater purpose to journey upstream, to work to dismantle greed and power in the global food system, and you're likely going to pursue a PhD in economics, do not boil it down by telling your parents that, quote, you're giving up on America and moving to the Andes to be a subsistence farmer. Trust me, that doesn't go over well. And yet, despite all of this feedback from others and these fears and uncertainties that I know, I feel called to step into this adventure. Even though it will mean calculus, statistics, Spanish classes, and more school, I will need to look more deeply at issues like power, greed, war, starvation, genocide, which I would rather avoid looking at, even though it will mean the possibility of a move to South America, far away from family and friends. The truth is, I couldn't be here today without you. I couldn't stand here without this congregation and the ways that I have seen you take risks. I have seen people stand up and say goodbye, to leave and work somewhere else. I have seen people invite strangers into their lives. I have seen people risk love and truth in the face of hatred and fear. And you make me stronger. I see God in the faces of the clients at the emergency food pantries I visit. They are hungry and ashamed. They are angry and tired. And why shouldn't they be? The economy has cut them out, left them to starve. I see God in the volunteers and the staff of the small community farms that supply vegetables to the emergency food pantries. I hear the urban farmers say, I don't get upset when people pick food without asking, because I know whoever took that food was hungrier than me. I see God in the community educators that I work with and around. Despite an economic system that sets people against each other, these educators work to build community. They give of their time to share knowledge of preparing healthy food without great expense. They inspire the low-income clients that they work with to choose healthier foods for themselves and their families. So many times in my life, I have had opportunities and I step aside from them because it might take too long or I might fail. And I can dismiss myself now and say that I'm not smart enough or who am I to do this. And yes, I too have been afraid. But this time, I want to be more than afraid. I am on the verge of saying yes with my life to some major changes. today, risking this, without what I have seen.